was this kid's third birthday party and he did not care at all. So he was turning 3 and his parents went all out. Huge backyard party, like 50 people. Family, friends, cousins, neighbors, everybody was there. Everyone was eating cake, baby, playing games, presents stacked up. The kind of party parents throw because they know their kids are going to remember it forever. So that morning they gave this kid one of his gifts early.
Here, sweetie.
It's a little plastic toy lawnmower.
Lawnmower. I like it.
The kind that clicks when you push it, and he loves it instantly. He won't put it down, and they're thinking, good, great, best gift ever. So the party starts, people show up, kids are running around, everyone's having a fantastic time. And meanwhile, the birthday boy isn't anywhere near everybody because he's in the front yard, slowly mowing the lawn with his fake lawnmower. Just walking back and forth, pushing that little mower. He's completely locked in. And the party's happening in the backyard. Everyone's trying to get him involved. Like, hey, come on, buddy, come on, open some presents. Doesn't even respond, just keeps mowing the lawn. Hey, bud, it's your Uncle Joey. Come on, let's have some cake. Doesn't care. Eventually, people just start laughing because this entire time they're looking outside. This kid's just walking back and forth, mowing the lawn, could care less about his party. Then it comes time to sing happy birthday. They can't get him inside, so everyone else had to come out to the front yard and sing to him while he didn't listen and mowed the lawn instead. Actually, that's awesome. Secret Santa Day. The rule, you pick a name, you don't say the name you picked. Teacher's walking around with a basket. Everyone picks a name. All right, pick and shh. Pick and shh. Good. Pick and shh. After everybody picks, this one girl asked another girl, who'd you get? And for some reason, this girl completely forgets the whole point of this. And she says, I picked Tyler. And this is where this all just crumbles. Tyler's head shoots up. What? Kayla's my Secret Santa? Dude, I'm cooked. She's gonna give me a horrible gift. Well, who do you have? I got Billy. Nice. At this point, the whole system collapses. Everyone's telling each other who they got. And then the teacher got mad, and then everyone else got mad, and they blamed it on the original girl, Kayla, who said she had Tyler. So if it wasn't for her, this might have gone smoothly. But it didn't. Hey, happy holidays. This girl's parents were so strict. They banned birthdays at their house. No cake, no candles, no parties. So on her 13th birthday, her friends found out. Wait, so you never had a birthday party ever? Nope, never. They were stunned. That is so messed up. You know what? Tomorrow night, we're throwing you one. One of them's house was the perfect spot. A huge backyard, a pool, lights were already strung up for vibes, and they spread the word. By sundown the next day, the backyard was packed. Music blasting, kids cannonballing in the pool. The girl who was hosting the party's parents were there just to keep everyone safe, but they were just sitting back, relaxed. Everyone was even chanting her name when she walked in. Marissa, Marissa, happy birthday, Marissa. And for the first time ever, she had a birthday cake with real candles in it. And right as she blew out those candles, there they were. She saw her parents walk into the backyard. Everyone got silent. What is this? Her friend stepped in. Hey, she deserves this. It's her 13th birthday. Her parents looked around and there was dozens of people just staring at them. They were uncomfortable, so they just said, all right, well, we'll pick you up here at 10, okay? 10 p.m. And they left. But still, that was the birthday that she would never, ever forget. So this kid had the biggest yard in the entire neighborhood. It's the yard that people always ended up hanging out at. But one summer, he had a bigger idea. He thought about those giant music festivals and how much money they make. And he thought, why not try to have one in my backyard? So first he held auditions. Bands, comics, magicians, whatever. Bring your instruments, bring your tricks, just show me what you got. And the best acts got a spot on the lineup. He built a stage out of stacked wood pallets and plywood. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. A friend brought an amp, some dude brought a microphone, it was all coming together. At the front gate of his yard, he had 2 friends working security. $10 a ticket. And inside, hot dogs and soda for $2 each, and his dad manned the grill. That night, the whole frickin' neighborhood showed up. Parents, kids, even people he didn't know. And the band was crushing it. Folding chairs around the bonfire, people dancing to the music. It was a beautiful sight. By the end of the night, they had made a really good amount of money. And he thought to himself, I'm gonna put this money towards doing it again next year. And that's exactly what he did. The next year, it happened again. Bigger and better. And he kept doing it. It wasn't just a big party. It became a tradition for the entire neighborhood. And they loved it. You gotta respect the hustle. A freezing rainstorm hits overnight. Morning comes, and every single porch on the block is a sheet of ice. People are stepping outside trying to go to work, but they're slipping all over the place. But one kid, Billy, he planned for this. He saw the winter storm warning early, so the day before he went to Home Depot and he bought 4 giant bags of ice melt with his Christmas money. And that morning at 7 a.m., he's outside in slip-proof boots, dragging a red wagon full of salt. $3, I'll melt your whole porch and driveway. $3, I'll melt it all. And the people that didn't have salt themselves, because this was very unexpected storm, they paid him. Take my money. Oh, take my money. Milk, milk. So he's sprinkling, he's scraping, ice is melting, neighbors are getting to their cars, other neighbors see, they want to use his service as well. Business is booming on this crazy morning. And anyone who says, I'm not paying for your salt, fine, then you can slip. Wait, come back, here. They always give in. He made some really decent money that day, and ever since then, they called him the Winter King. He was a lifesaver, and honestly, genius. Gotta respect the hustle. This girl was 13 years old when this happened. Her stepmom had been in her life for 3 years, but they still weren't close. She didn't listen to her stepmom, she didn't really trust her, and she would make that clear.
I don't trust you.
I don't care.
Well, that week, her dad was overseas for a funeral, so it was just her and her stepmom. And he was going to be there for 3 weeks. So every day, her stepmom would pick her up from school at 3. But she would always come out of school late, like 30 to 45 minutes late, which is kind of crazy and a bit annoying.
I've been waiting here for 45 minutes. This is the 3rd day in a row.
And the kid would just roll her eyes.
Get over it.
So one day, the stepmom decides she's not going to wait. She's not going to show up. She's gonna let her figure it out herself. So the next day, she doesn't go to the school. She stays home and then she just waits. So at 7 p.m., she finally is like, yo, I should call my stepdaughter. But she doesn't answer. So she calls the school. Hi, yes, I'm wondering, is Kayla Johnson still there? Kayla Johnson? No, she walked home at around 3:30. Oh no. Yeah, she messed up. She panics, she calls the neighbors, she calls the police. Eventually, they find her in somebody's backyard a few blocks away. What happened was she tried cutting through yards to get home. Well, one yard had a dog and it bit her in the leg badly. She limped away, realized her phone was dead, so she sat down and just cried. I mean, yeah, she shouldn't have went through someone's backyard, but still, this girl's 13. Her stepmom is responsible for her. The dad caught a flight that night. Are you kidding me? You let this happen. I'm at the airport right now. I am
So
The daughter now has a permanent scar, and the dad left the stepmom. And like I said, the girl was 13 years old. You can't just do that. Messed up. This kid used to be popular. What's up, Carla? Hey, what up, Johnny? Hey, look, it's the loser, Steven. Screw you, Steven. He used to be untouchable. He would bully a bunch of people, his friends would laugh, the girls in the school loved him, and so did the teachers. But one Monday, he came back to school with a haircut. And it was bad. No, it wasn't just bad. It was horrible, like a freaking cartoon villain. Hey guys, how we doing today? What's up, Carla? What? What? You look like Coconut Head. What happened to you? Your haircut sucks. And like I said, it was actually bad. Like, it was uneven, there wasn't a fade, it was just cut horribly. And just like that, it was over. Every day, kids would laugh at him. Even when his hair grew back and he had a normal haircut, people still made fun of him. He eventually just stopped talking in the halls, in class, to his friends. He would eat lunch alone. Kids were making jokes as he walked by. And that's how the king of the school turned into the punchline of everyone's jokes. Hey, that's karma for you. It was lunchtime. Everyone is sitting on the lunch tables. It's pretty packed. And well, a chain reaction starts. The one where you punch someone in the shoulder and you say, pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. There's laughter, everybody's playing along. The row across from them sees this and then they join in as well. Well, it gets to this one kid. Pass it on. He bursts into tears. He's ugly crying. He's wailing so loud, the whole cafeteria is staring at him. He bolts out of the lunchroom and goes straight to the office. No. You have to do something. He assaulted my son. I promise you we're gonna get to the bottom of this, okay? No, my son was assaulted. We demand expulsion. Cut to the kid being called into the office. Hey, I met with the kid's parents and the school board. I'm giving you a 120-day expulsion. Wait, for real? It was a game. Everybody was playing. Shut your mouth. 120 days. Even some of the kids that were at the table tried to go to the principal's office to explain that, yo, this was actually a harmless game and everybody was playing. The kid is just being a baby. But he didn't listen. and that kid was expelled for 120 days. And here's the worst part. After 120 days, he was allowed to come back. But if he messed up one time by even getting a detention, they would put him on a permanent expulsion. That's kind of messed up. This kid tried to outsmart the dress code. He was in 7th grade and his school had one of those weird rules. Your bangs couldn't go past your eyebrows. That was the line, just the eyebrows. So one day, a teacher pulls him aside. Hey, come here.
Yeah?
Get a haircut by tomorrow or there will be consequences. Usually a kid would then have their parents trim their hair. But not this guy. He went home angry. I'm going home, and I'm angry. And he starts thinking like a lawyer. Hair can't go past your eyebrows. Then it hits him. If I don't have eyebrows, then there's nothing for the hair to go past. He felt like a genius. So that night, he took a razor and he shaved his eyebrows clean off. Shows up to school the next morning proud. Same teacher sees him. What did I tell you about your hair? Come here. Well, miss, I'm actually fine now. Not breaking any rules because I don't have eyebrows anymore. She was not impressed, and he still got into trouble and still had to trim his hair. But hey, nice try. So this kid gets invited to a birthday party by accident. Oh boy. Oh nice, I'm invited. He has the same name as the kid who was supposed to be invited. So on the day of the party, he shows up to the door holding a gift. Oh, hey, you're not the one we were supposed to invite. Oh, honey, we can just let him stay, right? No, I think he should probably leave. It's okay, I'll go. Right as he turns away and was about to leave, he hears a voice from the hallway. There's a problem. This dude steps out of the bathroom. He's pale. The toilet's clogged, and it's clogged bad. The dad's like, no, don't worry, I'll handle it. Just give me a minute or two. No, like, the water's rising, and it won't stop. At this point, the kids and the parents are swarming the hallway. They're watching this water rise slowly, about to overflow. Parents are panicking, kids are screaming. The dad rushes in and he tries plunging. It's not working. He flushes again. Horrible idea. Water now begins to spill over. Oh my God, get the towels. Now the shy kid that was invited on accident watches all this happen and then he says, everybody stop, give me a minute. He goes to the kitchen. He grabs a large spoon, like this super long ladle. He takes the plunger from the dad. He goes into the bathroom and he shuts the door. He was in there for 5 minutes. Everyone's sitting outside waiting. It's completely silent. All you hear is swishing and plunging. What's happening? Milk. After 5 minutes, he steps out, calm, completely unfazed. We're good. Toilet's fine. Everything's settled. And I cleaned the floor as well. Hold on. Let me see. Wow. The dad tests the toilet. It works. And it's spotless in here. And everyone starts cheering. The kid's then like, all right, I guess I'll go now. No, you're staying. You're a freaking legend. The kid stayed and they had a great time. He made a lot of new friends that day. And he really did leave a legend. There was this one sophomore named Gus, and Gus lived right next to the school. And every day he would walk to the school with his pet goose. Not a joke, a real goose. All right, come on, buddy. He would walk and the goose would be strutting right next to his side. The crazy part is this goose was incredibly well behaved, and the teachers loved him. The goose would sit next to Gus in class. Good morning, class. Good morning, goose. Even the principal loved him. But there was one teacher, Mrs. Redmond, who hated the goose. I hate that goose. Didn't trust it, didn't like animals, didn't like students either, but one morning, Mrs. Redmond storms in, looks at the goose and goes, that's it, this is not a farm, get that goose
Off of school property now.
And the goose is just sitting there like, bro, what did I do? And somehow Gus gets a detention, and that's when Gus kind of snapped. So it was a small school, and Gus knew that Mrs. Redmond always stayed late to grade papers or tests, alone in her classroom. So after school, Gus walked home, but before he left, he went into Mrs. Redmond's classroom. She wasn't in there yet. He put Goose in the back of the classroom. So when Mrs. Redmond finally walked into her classroom to grade papers, she sees the goose and she screams. Well, that scared the goose, and the goose freaked out and began pecking the heck out of Mrs. Redmond's face. She didn't come to school the next day, but when she did return, she called for the execution of the goose. But Gus kept the goose safe in a shed in his yard. Unfortunately, Gus didn't bring Goose to school anymore, but Gus got his revenge, and that's all that mattered to him. It was April, heat was rising, classrooms were packed, the AC wasn't working very well, and the school had a rule: no standing up during class, even for a second. not even to stretch. What? The teacher said it disrupted the learning environment. Whatever, that's completely bogus. Well, this one kid named Andy, he has this knee condition. It was a sports injury, he had done physical therapy, all this stuff. Well, he gets into class, the bell had barely rung, and his knee was bothering him, so he shifted in his chair a bit and stood up to adjust. Andy! It was his history teacher. You know the rule. Or do you? No. I wasn't walking around. My knee was hurting. I had to go office now. He gets into the office and he explains everything to the principal. Are you disrespecting your teacher's orders? No, I just needed to attention today. Well, you see, this kid's mom was a nurse, and when she finds out about this, she was pissed. Well, she shows up the next day with his medical records and slaps them on the principal's desk. Hey, unless you're planning on becoming a doctor, you're gonna let my kid stand up when his knee hurts, okay? Yes, ma'am. Apparently she was so intense, the principal was freaked out, he talked to the teacher, and that rule changed very quick. What kind of teacher would do that though? That's insane. It was week 2 at summer camp. One kid realized the lake wasn't just for swimming, it was for business. He dragged a canoe down to the dock, and instead of just paddling around, he offered rides. And these weren't just regular canoe rides. He called them customized canoe experiences. The first customer was a kid trying to impress his crush. The canoe kid cleans the canoe, he pulls out a Bluetooth speaker, puts on love songs, throws down blankets as seat cushions, and hands them a pack of Twizzlers. Boom. $10 romantic canoe ride. This is nice. I like canoes. The next ride was a totally different vibe. 2 kids wanted to skip rocks in the middle of the lake. The canoe kid plays rap music and brings a bunch of flat rocks in a bucket. He takes them out there and lets them go wild. Boom, $10. Soon he's offering packages. There was the silence special for the kids that were fed up with their bunkmates. Soft music, calm paddling, and no talking for 20 minutes. It was like a meditation on the lake. And these customized experiences were spreading like wildfire. Everybody wanted to get a trip on this magical canoe. And by the end of camp, he made a pretty decent chunk of money. And the kids loved the service he provided. So yeah, you gotta respect the hustle. It started as this dumb thing. Some kid threw their own backpack into the air to be funny. It got caught on the top of one of the worst trees on campus. Thin branches, really high up, impossible to climb it seemed like. They tried everything. Here, I'll throw my shoe at it. Dang it. I'll throw a trash can at it. Dang it. Nothing was working. That's when one kid suggested this. Guys, we should call Squirrel Boy. No way, dude. Bro, we can't call Squirrel Boy. But there was no other option. So every school has that one kid. Well, this school had Squirrel Boy. He wore fingerless gloves. He said things like, "The ground is only a suggestion." He once perched on top of the basketball hoop during a game. "Get down from there." He scaled the brick wall on the side of the school building just to prove a point. And one time, he sat at the top of the flagpole for the entire lunch period, perched. Everybody would make fun of him, but on that day, they needed him. Somebody texted him. 10 minutes later, jogged around the corner eating trail mix. Didn't ask what happened. He saw the backpack, he saw the tree, and he knew what he had to do. I got this. He literally climbed the entire tree in like 3 seconds, and he threw that backpack down. The second he got down, he just walked away. "Thanks, Squirrel Boy." "Yeah, thanks, Squirrel Boy. Squirrel Boy's cool now." And from that moment on, nobody made fun of Squirrel Boy ever again. One day, this group of middle schoolers decided they're gonna start a band. They got a rusty drum set, a broken amp, and one kid with a guitar who only knows like 2 chords. Well, here's what they did. They made flyers, and they put them around the school. Live garage concert, $1 admission, and they put the address. Well, after school, kids start showing up to this garage. The first day it was like 10 people, and these guys come out like they're freaking rock stars. "What's up, everybody? What's up? You ready for a concert?" And the people are like, "Yeah, sure, I guess. Just play something." And they launch into their one song. "Garage music! Garage music!" And it ends. That's it. Play something else. But they don't know anything else, so they just played the song again. "Garage music! Garage music!" And those kids left pissed off. But the thing is, people kept coming back every single week and paying the entry fee just so they could boo this band. "Garage music! You guys freaking suck! Yeah, you guys stink!" Every time there was a garage concert, these students would bring different foods to throw at them. And the band, they didn't really care because they're making $15 to $20 a show for only like a minute of music. Hey, gotta respect the hustle. One day, randomly, this kid told his teacher, "My grandma died." "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that." Well, that night, the teacher emails the mom. "I just wanted to say, I'm thinking of your family. Deborah was such a good woman. May she rest in peace." The mom reads it, and she freezes. Wait, What? Her mother-in-law wasn't dead. She was literally at bingo that night. A few minutes later, a different mom from school calls her. We're all gonna miss her so much. She was such an incredible woman. No, I'm sorry, there must be some sort of confusion. She's not dead. By the end of the night, half of the neighborhood is sending their condolences. Everyone thinks Grandma's gone. This one family even dropped off a casserole. She then confronts her kid. Hi, did you tell everyone that Grandma died? Yes. Why? I don't actually know. The mom then calls her mother-in-law to warn her about this entire situation. Oh, hi, sweetie. B27. Crap. Hey, Deb, so apparently you died today? Oh, well, no one told me. That's good to know. G26. Bingo! One day, this kid bought a bunch of clear iPhone cases for cheap, and he had this friend who was good with graphic design. So what he would do is he would have his friend make this cool design of whatever he wanted. His friend would then print it and cut it down so it would fit perfectly inside this phone case. And it looked awesome. Clear phone case, this graphic design insert, it was legit. Custom fit, looked expensive. He did it to his phone case first. It was an anime design and it looked awesome. People saw this and they were immediately intrigued. Well, interest grew. And soon, he was taking orders for people. NBA, anime, SpongeBob, Shrek, he was making these custom phone cases and selling them. Then he starts bundling them together. 3 phone cases for $10, 6 for $15, and business was absolutely booming. He kept buying these clear phone cases, his friend kept designing these designs and custom cutting them to fit the cases, and people were buying them. They were all over the school. The thing was, his friend that was designing these and printing them was using the school's printers. The IT guy realized how much printing had been done and he told the principal. And this whole thing had to be shut down. But by then, he had made $530. And those phone cases became collectibles. Some students even reselling them for 3 times the price they bought them for. Honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. It was supposed to be a normal middle school sleepover, but then things got crazy. It was 4 friends, they were all in 8th grade. They had the sleeping bags in the basement, Nerf guns, soda, the usual. They go upstairs, they're playing video games, but then one of the friends says this. Yo, what's that behind the fence over there? Oh, that's my neighbor's hot tub. We should go in it. Oh. Wait a minute. They laughed it off at first, but 1:30 a.m. hits. The parents are asleep, and they went outside. Are we really doing this? This is a bad idea, guys. Shut your mouth, Ralphie. Everyone chill out. We're going in. Next thing you know, all 4 of them are sitting in the neighbor's hot tub, snacking on Doritos, and someone's playing music from their phone. Okay, this is really nice. Pure relaxation, boys. Pure relaxation. All right, we should get out soon, guys. Shut the hell up. Well, that's when, all of a sudden, the backyard floodlights go on. Oh my God, run. Yeah, there's 4 kids in my hot tub right now. Get out of here. The next morning, everybody's in the kitchen having breakfast. Everyone's worried about last night. Well, the doorbell rings. Oh, I'll get that. Wait, no. Hi, Mr. Johnson. Hi, Carol. We should have a conversation. She found out everyone gets in big trouble, but that sleepover went down in history as one of the greatest of all time. This kid started a war at the zoo. 5th grade field trip to the zoo. Everyone's hyped. The teacher's already stressed, you know. They get to the primate exhibit. The absolute best exhibit in any frickin' zoo. All right, class, hands to yourselves, please. Let's respect the facility and the gorillas, okay? There's this one kid. You know, that kid. He picks up a stick and launches it into the gorilla exhibit. Well, the stick lands on the ground right next to a full-grown silverback gorilla. The gorilla turns, sees the kid, grabs the stick, and throws it back. Smack! The stick explodes across this kid's chin. He drops, screaming, blood's everywhere. Chaos. This class is freaking out, teachers are screaming, and then the rest of the gorillas show up, all gathered on the other side of the fence right next to this class. They just rolled in like backup, and they're all just smacking the ground, you know, they're all angry. And it's gotta be horrifying for these kids. They're yelling, they're pounding the glass. This is gonna kill me, they're gonna kill me. What is going on? Well, the pounding on the glass alerted the orangutans, who were on just the other side of this exhibit. And they roll in like backup as well. So now it's like a dozen silverback gorillas, a dozen orangutans, all just pounding the glass in the ground on the other side of this class on a field trip. Dear God. That's when the gorillas and the orangutans start pooping in their hand and chucking the poop at the glass. Back to the buses. Now, the zoo staff swarms in from all sides. They shut this entire thing down. The exhibit is closed for the rest of the day. 30 minutes later, the school's banned from the zoo for life. And the kid who got the stick thrown at him left in an ambulance. He had to get stitches. That is absolutely insane. So where's my daughter? Yeah, well, we got good news and bad news. This happened the second day of kindergarten. Ella is 5 years old. It's her second day ever riding the bus. The bus route ends at the daycare, and that's where her mom picks her up after work. But on this particular day, the bus pulls up. The kids get off, except for Ella. The daycare staff looks around. Wait a minute, where's Ella? They called her mom. Hi, did you keep Ella home from school today? Because she's not here. What? No, she was in the bus this morning. The mom calls the school. Where is my daughter? She didn't get off her bus today. I have no idea. They had no idea. They panic. The mom panics. 15 minutes later, the school calls the mom back. Hi, we know where she is. we know where she is. She had fallen asleep on the bus. The bus driver never checked the seats. They drove the bus back to the bus depot and locked the bus inside of the garage and left. Ella wakes up alone. On a dark, silent bus, and she's absolutely horrified, as you can imagine. There's no lights, there's no voices. She starts screaming. Finally, a mechanic hears her and runs over. She's in tears, she's shaking, she's hugging her backpack. The school apologized. The bus driver got fired, and that girl never took a nap on a bus ever again. This isn't Monsters, Inc. It was a Monday. The class voted on a movie to watch for Friday because they had been good and they had gotten good grades or something like that. Everyone voted. It was a huge thing. The final tally is that Monsters, Inc. was the movie that they were going to watch on Friday. Heck yeah. Monsters, Inc. is awesome. Even the teacher said, "That's a great choice, class. I love that movie." Well, cut to Friday. Somebody brought a big bag of popcorn and Ziploc bags. They were passing out popcorn to the whole class. People were hyped. The lights go off, everyone's ready, and then the teacher says this. Okay, class, today we are watching The Miracle of Wheat production, a 52-minute educational film made in 1987. You're gonna love this. Okay, so now everybody's confused. What the literal hell is happening right now? She presses play. The movie is grainy, the opening song is a banjo when you hear this. Let's take a journey through the fascinating world of wheat. People don't really know what to say. The teacher's just sitting there smiling. Finally, one kid says loud enough for her to hear, "Yo, answer us. What happened to Monsters, Inc.?" Well, I realize it might not be educational enough, but you guys are gonna love this movie, I promise. Give it a chance. And they never forgave her for what she did that day. Steven was a quiet kid that got bullied for everything, but one day he decided to change that. It was a second-floor classroom. Steven was sitting by the window, and he decided that today was the day he was not going to be bullied anymore and that he was going to become a legend. Now, the funny thing about Steven was that he was actually shredded. Well, the teacher was mid-lesson, and Steven opens up the window, and he jumps out. There was a single-story building right outside this window, so he just jumped down onto that. And then he started dancing. Like full-on dancing, poses, spins, his hands were in the air, frickin' jazz hands. One kid near the window said, "Bro thinks he's doing a halftime show." He was hyped. He thought he did a great dance, so he hopped down to the courtyard, walked back in school, and sat down in the classroom. But the thing is, nobody even saw him do it. Just that one kid by the window. Nice work, man. He was livid. He did all that because he wanted to be this legend of a kid who danced on the roof of the school building. But no one noticed him, so the next week he came and he did it again. Same class, same window, same routine, and again, nobody noticed. Did anybody see that? See what, Steven, huh? The world does not revolve around you. Pay attention to the lesson. I hate my life. This kid ran a genius hustle. So at this one school, if your phone ended up in the lost and found, it stayed there until the parents of that student picked it up. That was the rule. If they took your phone, you were not getting it back. Then this kid named Marcus starts a business. $10 and I'll get your phones back before 6th period. Bro, what? They're in the front office. Yeah, well, Marcus had an older cousin that worked in the front office. And every day during lunch, Marcus would go to the office to say hi to his cousin. And when he did that, his cousin would quietly hand him a phone wrapped in a napkin. Hey, what's up, cousin? Oh, hey, Marcus, hope you're having a good lunch. Here is your snack I brought you. Good man. And nobody noticed. He had a group chat. Phone retrieval services. You would DM him what class you lost your phone in and what your phone case looked like. He even had tiers. $10 for standard pickups during lunch, $15 if you had to go to the office during class, it's a bit more risky, and $20 if you get caught again the next day. It became this underground thing. But here's the twist. Eventually the principal finds out about this. He made a deal. I won't punish you, but for this next week, every single time someone messages you to do this, Give me their name. Fine. He became a frickin' informant, and for that next week, he busted a lot of kids. Eventually, they found out that he had flipped and his business was completely washed. But still, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. It's summer camp, midnight. Most of the cabins are asleep when this kid wakes up to a sound. Hey, did you hear that? The sound is crying somewhere in the woods. It's not a normal cry either, like full-on sobbing, muttering. Is that an animal? Dude, I think it's a person. Well, these two campers sneak out with their flashlights and start searching through the trees. Hello? Anybody out here? Hello, we hear the crying. They find her, a camp counselor sitting on a rock, barefoot, crying. He said he loved me. But then he kissed Jenna on the dock like I don't exist. They're campers and she's a counselor. This is not their business. Do you want us to get like another counselor or something? I can call some... No, I'm fine. Don't tell anybody you saw me. What the heck? The next morning, she's at breakfast and she's acting normal, like she wasn't just scream crying into a pine tree 8 hours before this. But that rock that she was sitting on, they called that rock Breakup Rock for years after that. Yo, this backfired. This happened during a school test. This kid's about to get started, but this girl, his bully, says this to him right before. Hey, loser, I'm gonna cheat off you. This is the same girl that's been bullying him for years. But this time he has a plan. He just says, sure. Well, what this girl didn't know was that this kid got extra time on exams. So on test days, when class ends, most kids leave, but he still has an extra 30 minutes to finish the test. I had this in school as well. So here's what he did. The exam starts, and she's cheating off his test. Answer for answer, identical. Well, for the first hour of the exam, he's answering everything wrong. Even the short answers. Stuff like, what is inflation? He puts, when a balloon gets bigger. So the second she finishes copying, she stands up, turns her test in, and done. Thanks, idiot. And walks out of the room all cocky, super smug. Well, at this point, everybody else had left. And now he begins his extra test time. He erases his entire test and fills everything back in with the correct answers. Perfect. A week later, they get their test back. He gets 100%. She gets a 0 because he purposely made every question completely wrong. This makes no sense. What's wrong? Oh, 0? That sucks. I got 100. Who's the idiot now? Hey, don't underestimate me. She was so mad, but from that day on, she rarely bullied him anymore because obviously this kid was 10 steps ahead. He's a genius for this.
Hey, কি করবি? চেনা চেহারা না হলো কি চেহারা কথা তো বেশি চেহারা ওজন বেশি
আপনি না শুই না দেখা সব জানা ফেলছেন বাবা
রক্ত লাগবে রে রক্ত আসবো না মানে
হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম
আসবো না ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা যাও
কিরে তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন?
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল? এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস, ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে।
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল গলবে পাখির মন গলবে এমন মন্ত্র দেব
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয় আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর আর আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা আমি ওরে পাইলে হবে
ওকে আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন।
আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগতেছে দোস্ত, এই যে আস্তে আস্তে সব মানুষ জানবে, তারপর আমার ফ্যামিলিকেও জানিয়ে দেবে আর আমার
and best of luck for doctorship আমি দোয়া করি তুমি যেন একজন ভালো ডক্টর হও।
মাম্মা, কই রে তুই? কতক্ষণ ধরে দাঁড়ায় থাকবো? কনসার্ট তো শুরু হয়ে যাবো। তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল।
আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা
যা,
পারলে তো ভালো।
দেখা যাক কি করে শালা।
বোবা, হ্যাঁ কথা বলতে পারো না?
বিয়ান সাহেব, আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিয়ান সাহেব।
এক্সকিউজ মি,
বইলা দিবেন যে আমার বন্ধুর সাথে যেন ভালোভাবে প্রেম করে, নাইলে কিন্তু ঝামেলা আছে।
যেদিকে তাকাই তোমায় দেখতে পাই, কিচ্ছু ভালো লাগে না।
বন্ধু, তুই যদি রক্ত দেস?
ভালো লাগে না রে দোস্ত।
না দুলা ভাই, আমি তো কোচিং এ যাই নাই, আমার তো বাসায় গেস্ট আসছে আর আমার আম্মু তো একা, এজন্য আমি যাই না।
আমার পড়াশোনা সবকিছু বন্ধ করে দিবে, তখন আমি কি করব?
আরে ছাইরা দে।
তবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে এখন ক্লাস 9 এ পোলাবেনও প্রেম করে।
মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেন সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন।
মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি। তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে যাচ্ছে। তুই রবিলের সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি কি আমার বন্ধু জিসান দেখতে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি দেখেন ভাবি।
ফোন তো ধরে না।
আবার কল দেখ।
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল না। আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর। আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি শুধু ওরে পাইলে হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা, আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন,